Stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
This you got by last.
I'll make a motion to dispense with reading of minutes. I'll second.
All those in favor? Aye. All those carried. Oh, 555 Ludwig.
Okay. Yeah, so this project has been with the town. First of all, Anthony Pandolfi with Carmina Wood Design. I'm the project engineer representing the applicant Steelworks at 555 Ludwig. This project has kind of been going on with the town for a while. There's been quite a lot of issues, but we've worked through them. Just to summarize real quick, the projects. They have an existing shop and office at 555 Ludwig. This is the existing building here, and there's a small little office area out in front that we are going to remove and put in a 2-story, 3,000 square foot. It's going to be kind of like a showroom slash office slash extra storage space. Basically, just an upgrade for what they have in front of the building now. We're also going to add some customer parking out front in the middle of the building here. And then we've got parking along the south and the north for employees. Really, the only disturbance here is in the middle here. This is already there. We're just kind of reworking it. This is already existing too on the south side. One of the things we did last month was we did go to the ZBA for a couple parking setbacks along the front and the side. Those variances were granted by the ZBA. That's kind of been what we've been held up with for the last couple months. So now we're back. The parking in the front, the ZBA determined that it's consistent with the adjacent commercial properties on this stretch. It's only a stretch of about 4 properties. And on the west side here is the 90. So it's pretty secluded. Another issue that we kind of came across during this process was in the back here. There's a ditch that runs from north to south. This is a flag lot that goes all the way back down here. There's wetlands and a ditch here, and stormwater runoff from this back part, the stone lot back here, sheet drains into this ditch slash wetlands. And so what we are proposing to kind of correct that issue, and we worked with the engineering department on this, is we are installing a bioretention area right at the edge in between the wetlands and the stone area. What that bioretention does is it captures that stormwater runoff, treats it, filters down through an engineered soil media that treats the water so that when it discharges back into the ditch, it'll, basically clean it out, get rid of all that silt and debris, so that we're not polluting that wetland area. Again, we've worked with the engineering department closely on this. I talked with Drew Lloyd today, actually, from engineering. He's assured me that, that we're good to go in that regard, and that he'll be issuing an approval shortly, either tomorrow or sometime next week, hopefully. But just maybe some minor stuff, but nothing major. He seems pretty confident with what we've got. So other than that, if there's any questions or comments, I can answer them.
Regarding the configuration, sliver of space between.
Yeah, so it's might be easier if I go up here. Yeah, so it'll connect to the existing building here, and this is just kind of a sliver of green space. Why the architects did it that way, I don't know. I'm just the engineer. They worked with the owner, why they kind of decided to do it that way. I believe the existing office, although much smaller, I believe that space is already kind of there, so, that'll just be your green space that they'll just have to maintain.
So you said through being approved.
He told me there might be some minor things, but as far as, the treating of the stormwater from the stone area in the back was the major thing with this project. He's good with that. He didn't quite finish his review. He said there might be a couple minor things, but overall, he's confident that we'll get it all resolved and approved.
Did they have any light issues at all?
Any lighting?
Yeah.
No, there's gonna be building mounted lighting on the front, but no like light poles or anything like that. Yeah.
There's no house.
No, yeah, like I said, it's a stretch of like 4 or 5 similar type commercial / industrial uses. There's like a self-storage place. They're all the similar type use, and directly on the other side of Ludwig Avenue is the 90 throughway.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this pending any engineering questions or concerns.
We're fine with that.
All those in favor?
Thank you.
Oh, you're not.
I don't know.
There's about 2490 all in there.
My name is Justin Latier. I'm here with Collier's Engineering and Design, representing Walmart. We are here to present a 4,671 square foot expansion on the east side of the existing building. A portion of the garden center will be removed to accommodate this expansion. Per the town code, there will be no change in net floor area as a result of this because the expansion is only for stockroom and storage of queued up groceries. Disturbance for the project will be about 0.27 acres, no SWIP or stormwater improvements, no changes to impervious cover, and the existing catch basins on site will collect the roof drainage and the drainage from the canopy that gets getting added as well. We will be going from 11 to 45 pickup spots on site, and we'll actually be adding 3 parking spots overall to the site, going from 751 to 754 and a ratio of 5.0. And then we do have some lighting improvements. Part of Walmart's big concern with projects like this is to make sure this area is lit safely for both customers and associates. So we are relocating 1 light pole in this area, adding 1 new light pole, and replacing some of the heads on the existing poles in the area. This does cause our lighting and photometric plan that was provided to be a little bit brighter than the average required by the code, and there are a couple foot candles that are above 10 as well in that area, and that's mainly driven by making sure it's lit per Walmart's safety standards, and there's no changes to any of the other lighting on site or outside of that area. No changes to anything at the property line. And there is a plan in here. It's the C160 sheet. That's the full set that shows. Yeah, no effect to the lighting back there. They'll be returned to regular parking spots. There you go. So you can see the photometrics along the property line to the side, and it may not even go up to the back just because there's no change to anything further that way from that existing pole.
Can you just explain real quick again? Reference town code and it's not an increase in requirement or the area of the.
Yeah, so the way we understood the code in this area is that the parking ratio is based on the net floor area. And because there's no sales or customer access to this expansion, that it wouldn't be considered an increase in square footage.
Okay, thank you for clarifying.
Have you been in front of our EAC?
We're going to be there on September 24th meeting.
The deal with the storage, is that going to be for retail, for food? Do you need refrigeration for that?
I believe there will be some refrigeration in there. So basically, the whole focus of these projects for Walmart is, as online pickup has grown, they've realized that the space inside the store isn't efficient to, queue up the orders and dispense
Right,
them
I
appropriately.
understand that.
So these boxes are designed to give them more room to queue up the orders and dispense them more quickly to customers.
Uh-huh. I would just be curious about about the refrigeration if there's going to be food involved back there. That's all.
Yeah, we can follow up on that. I do believe there
Okay.
is refrigeration in there.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions or concerns? I answered mine about the lighting. And the drainage is already taken care of. And I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mhm.
Motion approved.
Yeah, thank you so much.
4911 Genesee.
Hello, I'm Stephen Ariashai representing Crystal Luong for Sky Harbor Plaza. We are here to discuss its rezoning from resident. Oh yeah, rezoning the property from residential mobile home to commercial retail business. We've been dealing with Dan Young for the past probably year and a half. I believe this started when the businesses 4915 and 4917 needed a temporary rezone because of the property size that was approved. That business moved in probably 4 or 5 months ago. So this is following up on the temporary use permit for that property, and this would be a final rezone for the whole plaza. Nothing would be changing, but it would, I think it was long overdue when the property changed hands from the Taddeo family to Crystal, I believe in 2017, 2018. It wasn't rezoned, but because of the new business that moved in, it kind of made it necessary. And speaking with Dan, it seemed like rezoning the whole plaza was the way forward. So that is why we are here.
Questions?
You gone in front of the ZBA?
No, I'm not sure.
Sorry, my mic was off. To answer your question about them going before the ZBA, so the way this worked out was Crystal had approached the building and plumbing department regarding establishment of a use, and that use was denied because it was not permitted in the RMH residential mobile home district. The owner elected to establish under temporary use permit, which did go before the ZBA and was issued by the ZBA to establish that use. And then she was made aware of her options at that point regarding the parcel, and that she was, eligible to petition, like any parcel owner, the zoning, because she was facing a hardship with the limitations of the RMH residential mobile home district, and this part of the process that she's taken on has not gone before the ZBA because there's no requirement for the zoning amendment to go before the ZBA. You're welcome.
And when you mentioned the temporary use that was approved,
Correct. Yep.
what district would that use fall under?
So that use would be a recreational amusement use, and the use is allowed in both C retail business and CM general commercial. There are restrictions on that use in C retail business. Specifically, it limits the use to indoor theaters, gymnasiums, and early childhood activity centers.
I will second.
Sorry.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried.
Thank you so much.
Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
4455 Genesee.
Hi, I'm Chris Nicacy with Calspan, and we're looking to do a 6,000 square foot addition to our crash research facility that's currently on the property. The purpose of the addition is to add a third preparation bay to the building. When this building was developed, I think we had 8 people working at the facility. We're up to over 40 now. It's designed, we're continuing to increase our customer base, and they require confidentiality with their vehicles. They're doing prototype vehicle development at the facility. So currently we're kind of maxed out with capacity. We can only have 2 customers on site at one time, which has really hindered our ability to conduct our business. So we're looking to add a third prep bay so that we can have multiple customers on site and maintain confidentiality of their property. So it's an identical size to the 2 existing prep bays that we have on site. It's going to be built to the east side of campus, which kind of faces the old railway. And yeah.
Questions?
The homes are to the south and to the west.
Yeah. At one time, they had trouble on Highland Avenue with the crash sites because of noise.
Yep.
I don't think there's any problem anymore.
So we do get we get occasional complaints from the neighbors, and typically it's in relation to, maintenance of like grass cutting and things like
Right.
that. And we address them when they come up. So
Okay.
yeah, we have a contracted vendor that comes out on a weekly basis, but sometimes they'll miss a spot. So we have not had a noise complaint as far as I'm aware in several years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they had, the trouble was on Highland Avenue.
Yeah.
I remember that at one time. Thank you.
Yep.
Are you able to put up the lighting plan, Dan?
One moment.
It appears that the lighting that you're proposing is addressing truly just the addition, like that side, that east side, right? So, and as mentioned, with the neighbors being towards the south, is there any existing concerns? I think now would be the time to make any adjustments or improvements if needed.
Yeah, I'm not aware of any concerns.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, all our emergency lighting, exterior lighting has photo cells on it, so it doesn't turn on until. Yeah.
Any other questions or concerns?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Have a good night. 751 French Road. Good evening.
Hi, I'm Patricia Bitar with William Shutt Associates, and I'm here tonight with Pastor Seth from Bible Believers Baptist Church. The proposed project is a 20-space parking expansion, colored in pink on the screen. Currently, there's 46 spaces on the property, and at times when they're running certain functions, there's insufficient parking and people are parking on the side streets, so they want to address that ahead of there being any issue. So the proposal is for an increase in 20 spaces, and for the stormwater runoff associated with that parking area, there's a grass line detention basin proposed to the east, and it's just going to sheet flow into it with a controlled discharge out to French Road. So no net increase in runoff leaving the site. There is a proposed relocation of the dumpster because currently it's at the termination point of the existing parking on the east side of the building. We're proposing to move it over to the gray shaded area. If you can see there, relocating it within the existing parking field. but sufficiently away from, we didn't want to put it at the termination of the proposed expansion area because we thought it'd be too close to the rear yards of the abutting residential properties. We do propose landscaping. It's not shown on this plan, but on the landscaping plan, we have landscaping around the perimeter of the dumpster in its relocated location. And then we also have it along the perimeter of the proposed expansion area and the detention basin.
Will these parking spaces connect to the current spaces?
Yeah, it'll run concurrent with the parking spaces on the east side, just run straight through. Yeah.
Okay.
You mentioned the being cognizant of the neighbors. So was any consideration given to like connecting the two parking lots and keeping the parking further north on the site?
Not at this time because potential future, not knowing what might happen out there, they didn't want to encumber that existing green space if there's something else that they might be adding regarding additional potential play area, whatever might occur out there. So they didn't want to close that in.
How far away is the nearest residence from there? We couldn't,
From the nearest residence, I don't know to the property lines we have along the east side from the proposed parking field to the east property line is 56 feet. And then along the rear to the south from the termination of the proposed parking expansion to the property line is 31 feet.
okay, and lighting in that parking lot, you're proposing lighting, and it's dark sky compliant?
Right, there's nothing proposed at this time because there is a very tall utility pole that's in there, and there's been some conversations with the utility company if they could put an additional head on there if need be down the road, but that would be something that would be talked with and make sure that it is dark sky compliant with the town code.
Okay.
I guess the last question is regarding the peninsula, the bump outs in the
Yes.
lot as they connect. Is that to achieve interior green space?
Yes, it is accommodating for what's existing and proposed on that side, yes. We wanted to make it one continuous space to make it easier for snow plowing and snow removal and such.
That makes sense.
Trisha, can you say your last name again? I'm sorry.
Bittar, B as in boy, ITTAR.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
75 Innsbruck. Mr. Pandolfi. Let's talk about the Chubs too.
Good evening again, Anthony Pandolfi, Carmina Wood Design Project Engineer for the proposed development at 75 Innsbruck. Here representing the property owner, Voland Electric. Voland Electric, basically what they do is they repair and sell electric motors, cranes, hoists, things of that nature. You could see on the site plan, they already have a quite large office / shop area. What they're looking to do just to the east of that is provide a 4,000 square foot pole barn. It won't be connected to the existing building. You can kind of see right here, there's gonna be a concrete connector between the two with overhead doors. That's so that they can get a forklift to move equipment and materials between the two buildings, but they don't want them connected. It's gonna be completely cold storage building, meaning the only utilities going to this building will be electric. We're proposing just some wall-mounted security lighting around the perimeter of the building. We've done everything to comply with zoning and meet the existing parking spaces, meet the requirement for this building and the existing. We comply with all the setbacks. We're not asking the ZBA for any variances. We'll work with Drew and the engineering team with stormwater runoff. There is an existing storm sewer system on site that we're going to connect to. But other than that, if there's any questions or comments, I can answer them.
Did you go to the EAC meeting?
We are going to the EAC at the end of this month, September 24th or 25th, I believe.
Yeah, because they're gonna ask you about environmental.
Yeah, we just submitted the EAF. We're aware that the EAF did ding some things. The very small space we're disturbing is existing green space next to the existing building / parking lots. So we're very confident that this will have very minimal environmental impacts.
What about wetlands? Is that disturbing?
So I did check, the EAF did ding for wetlands. I checked the online database mapper through the DEC. There are wetlands, at least they show there are wetlands on the property to the south. And the EAF automatically dings whenever you're adjacent to wetlands, even if it's on another property. But this is like a completely if you look at like an aerial, you'll see it's completely developed mowed land. It's not, not cattails or anything like that. It's completely grass, green space. We have to go to the EAC because it is a 4,000 square foot building. If it was 3,999, we would not have to go to EAC. They want that size building. Like I said, we're confident that there won't be any environmental impacts, though.
I was reading up on this, I read into it too much, obviously.
What is next door? Because they talked about a spill in one of those.
Yeah, so I'm not sure when the EAF dings for a spill. What we do is we go into the DC spill database, and you can search by address.
That's where
It dinged a nearby property. A lot of times it's a gas station or something like that. For something like this, they don't give a whole lot of detail into what it was. So I'm not sure. It could have been a truck or something with a big oil spill or something like that.
So you guys are just storing.
Yeah, just for equipment and material storage.
I'll make a motion to approve pending EAC approval or
Okay.
questions or concerns.
Okay.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Carried. Are we done with it?
What?
Oh, no.
One more.
Yeah, we got 38.
Okay, next up. Mr. Pandolfi, one more time, 3825 Union Road.
I'm gonna take a breather for this.
Okay.
Yes.
How you doing? Corey Auerbach from Barclay Damon.
Corey.
Auerbach,
Auerbach.
Auerbach.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I really should just let Anthony run the show. He's done so well on the past few. So this is a proposed rezoning and site plan request for 7 Brew Coffee. You may not have heard of 7 Brew, although they have about almost 450 locations throughout the United States. They're just entering into the Northeast market right now. We just did one down in Dunkirk, and there's going to be a couple others coming up into the area. 7 Brew seeking to rezone a little less than half an acre of the Tops Plaza parking lot on Union Road. This is between the two George Urbans where they meet Union. I'm sure you're all very familiar with the Tops. This is just taking advantage of an underutilized portion of their parking area to put a little out parcel in there, approximately half acre in size for a 510 square foot, what they call a 7 Brew stand. Why do they call it a stand? Because there's no inside. There's no seating. You can't go in. It's essentially a fast service coffee, tea, energy drink sort of facility. And rather than have order boards like you'd see at a Tim Hortons or a McDonald's, it's more similar to what you'd see at a Chick-fil-A, where there'll actually be a person with a tablet that stands in the drive-through lane. Double stack drive-through, accommodates 16 vehicles. It takes advantage of the existing infrastructure, no new curb cuts or anything. Really, it's just completely internal to the Tops Plaza. And it's going to be a great new amenity, a great new business for the town of Cheektowaga, something you're going to start to see popping up all over Western New York. So this is both to rezone from C to CM for the drive-through restaurant use. It's similar to many other uses that you see in CM. We will require a special use permit as part of this process, but as far as the planning board is concerned, we're seeking your recommendation on both the rezoning and the site plan approval, of course, subject to any comments that we may receive from the EAC at their meeting later this month.
So
Traffic? Did we do a traffic?
Yeah, so this is really pass-by traffic. So what you normally see is no one's leaving their house to say, I'm going to go head over to Seven Brew. It's really just pulling existing vehicle traffic off of Union Road for people that are traveling through the commercial corridor, people that are at Tops or at the Tops Plaza. So there's really no anticipated additional traffic associated with this proposal.
Is this where that little key bank kiosk is?
This
There's
is
a little
in,
ATM over there.
this is in the, so if you were heading north on Union, it's the second entrance.
Mhm.
So it's not where the top sign is where you pull in, but there's another entrance. So it's right when you come in off that northern entrance.
there's
In
a plaza.
the plaza's to the south, and then there's Tops to the east.
And
This
they're on the other side.
this is oriented in the north on the other side. So you-
Mhm.
closer to the creek, exactly right. So in the northern portion, completely
That's exactly right.
underutilized parking area. In fact, not anywhere that anyone that's going to Tops or the plaza would park.
Yeah, I love the idea of, using underutilized spaces. I think it's a great concept. Could you just explain a little bit about the traffic flow on that with the two lanes there, as well as you mentioned, tablet ordering and, we're Buffalo, right? We've got winters, so
Sure.
just how does that work year round as a business? So.
Yeah, for the site design, I'll let Anthony kind of describe how they've laid it out.
Yeah, so, as you can see, double drive-through, and as Corey mentioned, someone's gonna come through with a tablet and take people's order, and what that does is that significantly speeds up, the queue time. Seven Brew averages about 3 to 4 minutes from on-site to off-site, which is a lot faster than most places. So the queue does not back up very far at all. They tend to see no more than 7 to 10 people in the queue at a time, and they get them out very fast because of the way they do the ordering. So we got the double drive-through, we have a bypass lane just next to that, should anyone, change their mind or need to get out, made a wrong turn, whatever. But the double lane, and then they just pull up, and usually by the time they get to the door, their order's already ready, and someone just walks it out to them. They don't need to come to the window or anything. Someone comes right out of a sliding glass door, hands them their order, and they're off on their way.
Now they will be serving food.
No food,
Just
drinks
drink,
only.
just
Again,
drink.
yeah, and again, another thing that helps
Now,
speed up
where
the
will
time.
that menu be? On the outside, listed on the outside?
So they have QR coding that you can do on your phone, or they'll have like a board on site that you can pull
Oh,
up a
okay.
QR menu, or you can order on your phone. But what I'm told from the Seven Brew rep is most of the ordering is done with the person on the tablet, but there are multiple options.
Okay. They will tell you what they have.
Yes.
Okay.
And I believe one of the board members brought up about stacking. How is that gonna? It's going to, I'm confused what, so. How many cars are you gonna be able to stack, and how are you gonna control the traffic patterns in there? Because it's a little bit.
It's difficult to get out onto Union Road from Tops,
I think,
regardless.
Yep.
Four of us all live in that area.
Yeah, this is my area.
And then just the next intersection down is the Tim Hortons, right? So they're constantly queued up on Union at obviously certain times of the day, but
I know one of them is signalized. Is this? I'm not sure if this.
At Tim Hortons does have a signal, yeah.
I'm talking about for this class. I believe one of them.
No.
Signalized now.
No,
No, there's no signal.
there is no signal.
There's one in front of, there's one in front of Auto, and then there's one at Union and George Urban.
The distinction here is they have the entire parking lot inside the plaza where folks are already off of the roadway.
Yes.
So people will be navigating through the Tops Plaza itself as opposed to coming directly off of Union Road into like a Tim Hortons facility. You have the entire Tops Plaza infrastructure where people can, they can either go to the
Correct, but if
southern.
you're not from here, you don't see the people lined up trying to get onto Union Road when they're coming from Tops.
Okay.
add another business. This is the concern right now.
Mhm.
It's not, hey, I hope a new business thrives. We want nothing more than to see a business thrive. But people are going to start to like it and they're going to go and pull in.
Mhm.
And the concern is traffic for me right now. That
Sure.
is my big concern.
We did recently do one up in Niagara Falls. They had, similar concerns and we did provide them with, an abbreviated traffic impact study letter that Seven Group provides. And basically their peak times are actually off hours from rush hour times. A lot of that is because they don't just do coffee. They do a lot of these new age kind of drinks that kids are into. So, you'll get kids that are going there, early afternoon after school, or college kids maybe at, 10 or 11 in the morning. They tend to see their peak times offset from peak rush hour because they don't do just coffee. There's a lot of other drinks that kids and teenagers are kind of into. So that's what they've seen with their existing locations.
And what are the hours of the,
I don't remember offhand, but it's something like 7 in the morning to 9 at night or something like that. I don't know off the top of my head. It's not 24/7. Tim Hortons isn't even 24/7,
Right.
at least most of them. But early morning to early evening.
okay.
Not beating the same horse. We cannot have traffic backing up on
Yeah.
Union Road. You're doing the double stacking and everything like that. That's the ultimate, that's the no-no in the town.
Yeah, and with 16 vehicle stacking lanes, with the speed with which they're getting people on and off the site, there's more than ample stacking to accommodate
wanna make
any
sure-
conflicts. But the point about Union Road leaving the plaza is a good one. And, particularly since we're going to be going to the EAC as part of the seeker process, we will be prepared with the EAC to provide some additional information on that traffic question.
What's everybody feel on this? Right?
I have concerns over just that distance from Union Road to that first turn in lane. Again, and you've addressed how many cars you can queue, but if it does for whatever reason get beyond that, then you got a couple car lengths there, and then people can't turn off of Union, and then that backs up, and it's I guess that's my biggest concern. I share with Vicky as well as the traffic.
Yeah, and it's a fair concern, but I don't think I've ever seen 16 vehicles in a drive-through. 16 is a lot of cars with a double stack drive-through, but it's a fair concern.
That doesn't even bother me with that. I don't see that many cars being in there either, not at all.
Mhm.
Because I go to Tops all the time.
Mhm.
And on those hours, they're never that busy.
Yeah,
If it was Wegmans, I'd say yeah,
yeah.
but not Tops.
I would, this is judging from the board. I'd like to see the EAC look at this before we make a decision.
Sure.
I mean, it's just, there's concerns about traffic and everything else. I as a board member don't feel real comfortable, and I'm.
Then you
feeling
should
that.
definitely take that approach because we
Okay.
want you to be comfortable. We want
Yeah,
to we want to get you the information and make
Yeah,
you feel
I
comfortable
would
about it.
feel better if,
Yeah.
you know what, those are the people,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So,
Yeah, we're here to make you comfortable with those concerns. So
Okay,
if you need to provide some additional info on that, we're happy to
We
do
can
it.
have the subgroup people do a traffic letter.
Yeah, that's really, I
With
mean,
some actual data and everything.
so I'd like to make a motion to table this.
I would second that.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Yeah, this is nothing. I mean, it's just it's the traffic and.
No, it's a fair
I
concern.
mean, it's, we've had a couple other businesses on Union Road.
Yeah. Yeah.
we've all seen examples of improperly located fast serve restaurant. I think this one's a little bit unique in that it can take advantage of the infrastructure of the Tops Plaza, but we'll get something together to help make you guys
A
comfortable.
little more information. That's.
Sure.
That, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Happy to do it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Motion to adjourn?
Have a good night, everybody.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.